I've been filming on my new phone for a while now and I feel like the quality is excellent during the day. If I'm outside, if I'm doing anything where I've got a lot of natural light, the quality is brilliant. But anything where it's getting dark outside and I'm having to rely on like ambient room lighting, it really struggles. For some reason, the shadow is giving me a monobrow. I don't have a monobrow, so that you know, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with having a monobrow, but yeah, it's giving me one, but I can confirm the brows are shapely. Right, so I'm going to shut up waffling on. Welcome back to the channel. We are here today because we are going to carve a pumpkin. I can't remember the last time I carved a pumpkin. I think I was probably about 12, 15, something like that. And it was very much like two triangular eyes and like a jagged mouth. And I did it with a kitchen knife because back in the day, in the 90s and the early noughties, there were no such thing as pumpkin carving tools or anything like that. You got a knife from the kitchen, probably the shit knife that your mum didn't want you to ruin on the pumpkin either, and that's what you had to carve with. And then you scooped it out with a spoon, again the shit spoon that your mum didn't want you to ruin. And so yeah, not the easiest is what I remember it being, so I'm very intrigued to try this with some actual proper pumpkin carving tools, of which I have these, very jazzy, in an orange packet, which I hope you appreciate. I've put on an outfit that has orange elements in it. Yes, I bought these on the internet, and let's have a look and see what they have in them. Well, the first thing is the handles are made to look like cheese, which is a bit confusing. These are templates, I believe. Yeah. Oh, that one's got a moustache. I would really love to do a pumpkin with a moustache, but I have a plan. Yeah, that's pretty much the level of my skill. I'm just going to say right now, that is the level that I have. I'm going to try to keep it on brand, you know, and what I thought I would do is a castle, or a castle. You might have to use your imagination. But yeah, that's what I thought I'd do, because I originally wanted to do like a country house or Chatsworth or something like that. And then I was like, am I really going to be able to carve a Chatsworth into a pumpkin? And B, it's a square. So if it all goes wrong, there's just going to be a square hole in a pumpkin. So I decided to go with a castle, a little bit like a fairy castle, I think. I've got one of them. I've literally got one of them from my bookbinding thing. I could have just used that. I think what I'll do at first is start with the top, get the top off, and then start carving. Let's get started and see where we go. How big are you supposed to go? Do you know what? Woo! Let's just go for it. Right, I've got that in. Oh, this is much easier than it was back in the day. Oh, she says. I've just remembered I hate the smell of pumpkin. Oh, there we go. Right. Oh, there we go. Lid. Right. I need something to put my pumpkin-y bits in. Bowl. I'm also going to get a smaller bowl as well because I want to try and save the seeds. I don't know how much of that you're supposed to cut off, but goes back on okay, so that's good. We'll leave that. Ooh, leave that there. Right, now the scooping begins. Still smell the pumpkin. Right. How do I get it out again? I'm not using my hand. Absolutely no. That's a hard pass. Wonder if I... I feel like this pumpkin is either pooing out its insides or is like giving birth to some kind of pumpkin-y afterbirth. This is gross. I need to do a little bit more finessing. So I shall finesse and I will speak to you when I've cleaned the inside out a little bit more. This is great. I'm not well framed in this shot at all. I wasn't planning to talk anymore. But this tool, much better than the reject spoon out of the bottom of your drawer when you were a kid. Although, does it lose some of the charm if you're not like absolutely toiling with it? I don't know. I've carved out a bit of the inside, but it still feels quite chunky and heavy. So I'm assuming that what I'm supposed to do is really go for it with this and try and like thin out the inside of the pumpkin a little bit so that it's easier to cut through the centre. So I'm going to give that a go. I wonder how the pumpkin feels being carved out from the inside. I don't know where to stop. I see why kids get bored of this. I feel like a lot of pumpkins end up being made by mums and dads, and I can see why. I'm getting a bit bored myself already. Don't put your nose inside the pumpkin, Charlotte. I'm thinking that this is going to be the front where we do the castle, even though theoretically it would be easier to put it on a flatter surface that will then be facing down. Right, I need to wash my hands. Now, if I was a sensible person, or if I planned ahead, or if I did anything to make this look a little bit more professional, I would have gone on the internet, found myself a castle picture and printed it off. But I haven't. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of wing it. Let's do a little bit of planning. Let's draw something out on paper and then I will copy it onto the pumpkin. Right. Let's do this. So if we do that as like the basic castle, we could do that thing where they put like a circle around like that. So then this could be like the silhouette and then that would be carved out. This would all be carved out. And then we can do like carved out doors and a little window here that we carve out. Maybe we do that. Right. Yes, I did just pour myself a glass of wine because there's one good thing about pumpkin carving as an adult. Do whatever the fuck you want. Right, let's carve this bitch. Okay, so it's a bit small, but let's work with that. I'd rather make it smaller than too large because presumably if I make the hole too big, then things will fall out of it. No comments. Don't hit any puns about things falling out of large holes. I have seen some cool things online of people like getting rid of the top yellow layer, orange layer, and going down to like the pith underneath. That would be quite cool. I might see if I can do something like that. Right, so first things first. Oh, yeah, that helps. Right, so I've got the GoPro set up that's going to try and get like a sideways shot. Don't know how good it's going to be, but anyway. So I think I might start with the door. Okay, so a little saw's good. Have an incision. Have a single cut. And then go along the bottom. No, we've got a little door. Either that or just a pumpkin that's going. Oh, this is quite enjoyable. I shouldn't speak too soon because something's bound to go wrong and I'm about to have a horrendous time. But so far, I'm quite enjoying myself. I have absolutely no idea if what I'm doing is like what the pros do because, as I say, I have not watched any videos. I've not prepared for this video other than buying the pumpkin and the tools. That is about the level that my preparation has gone for this. So I wanted it to just be a bit more like ad hoc. I mean, other than someone who can like, I mean, they do pumpkin carving contests with like chainsaws. How people do that, I do not know. But other than like watching someone carve a pumpkin with a chainsaw, nobody wants to watch like a mid-30s woman in Yorkshire averagely carving a pumpkin that she's actually like trained for and practiced and this, that and the other. So I figured we'd just wing it and see. And then if chaos ensues, you'll all have a good laugh at my expense. Whew. That went in faster than I thought. I can't remember which bit I'm supposed to be cutting out and which bit I'm supposed to be keeping. I feel like the warmer your pumpkin get. Oh my god. I've just looked at one of my attics. What is that? Probably looks better on camera. It looks terrible in person. Absolutely terrible in person. Maybe shove that through. It's cool. It looks cool. Look. It looks so good. Right, I need to try and put these windows in now without fucking all of my hard work up. No! It's the tower that the kid didn't want. It's the tower that the kid didn't want. I think I might have broken it. It's fractured. It's fractured. I've got my hand in the pumpkin, Oh! Oh, okay, so instead of going down with this, you go in. Oh, that's so much easier. You're that guy on TikTok who's like, here's some things I didn't know until I was in my 30s. I feel like I've just become one of those videos. I feel also like drawing the outline in pencil may not have been the best idea because it's now the edges of my pumpkin are just turning like a mucky grey. Which I suppose is in keeping with the castle. Hello, pussycat. You okay? You coming to watch me chaotically ruin a pumpkin? Hmm? The whole point is it's supposed to let a lot of light through, isn't it? So I do want there to be able to be enough light. Is this class as cardio? Surely this classes as some kind of exercise. What do you think? Yeah. Why does it look like it's screaming? Looks like my house is going. So yeah, here's my screaming house. Hold on, we need a rehydration break. Hey Google, are pumpkins poisonous to cats?
On the website petpoisonhelpline.com, they say pumpkin is not toxic to pets but can cause stomach upset, especially diarrhea because of its fibre content. Do you want a little more context?
No, thank you.
Okay.
When would you ever want more context? Yeah, you're not going to try any pumpkin, babe. No, because I am not cleaning up your diarrhea. It's not happening. Do you want some dreamies instead? Yeah, you want some dreamies? I'm going to try and, like I say, cut this like landscape out a little bit. I think it's working. Just need to be very delicate. My idea is to make it translucent so that like the candlelight kind of glows through it. Can you see? Like I've notched it out a little bit. It's kind of hard to, there you can see the top of it. Yeah, that's the idea. I've made quite a mess all over the table, but it is looking pretty good. I feel like, let me just show you properly on this camera. Oh, a little leftover. I feel like that side I've done a better job at getting it quite thin. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tidy it up because you can't really see it on camera, but there's some bits that are just a bit jagged and this, that and the other. And I quite like to like round out the edges on the inside so you can't see the edges as it comes through. And then Once I've done that, I'll put a little candle in it and we'll see what it's like. So yeah, I'll be back shortly.